Katie, I was going to ask how has life changed, but we can clearly see how life has changed for you in the last few months.
Yeah, don't wake a sleeping baby, so that's why he's here right now. We're not risking the transfer.
Oh yes, totally. But how is life different for you after having Kimball with you?
Yeah, I mean, it's completely different. My priorities are definitely Kimball, and but I also would like to come back to triathlon, and I've just started getting back into training. I'm doing about 10 to 15 hours of training a week right now, and swim, bike, run. Everything's going really well, but like even right now I'm thinking, well, like normally I'm training 20 to 25 hours, and I'm thinking, when am I gonna find the next 10 hours? Like, and I'm sure we will get used to things, but it's definitely a way different lifestyle, like balancing that. Also, Tommy, who normally trains with me, he's working another job as well, plus we have Kimball, so we're not training quite as much together because he's with Kimball while I'm training, or he's working while I'm training. So we have a babysitter, which has given us a little bit of relief, and then coming here to Bermuda, where we did not compete, but we spectated and actually did an age group relay. That was a really good test, I guess, of like our first traveling. And already when Tommy dropped me off at the like side of the airport while he went and parked the car, I was like looking at all the baggage, thinking normally like we had a bike, we have Kimball, we have the stroller, we have all of our luggage, and then I'm like, oh yeah, now we're gonna probably have to add another bike at some point for when when we start really traveling. So it's been a good test run.
But I mean, you were saying you've been like not racing but spectating. Did you miss it? Was it like what did you feel when you saw everyone else racing and you not yet?
I didn't miss it in the sense that I wanted to be out on the start line. I think a little bit of that is just not feeling physically fit or ready yet. But I really enjoyed, like I did the swim course preview with them, and then I also did a few bike rides with my friends who are on the circuit like before the race, and I really enjoyed just being with everyone. And it's funny because I haven't been here for like a year, but at the same time, just seeing everybody's familiar faces, like I felt like I just like got back into the swing of things, but also like I got dropped on the swim course preview, and like I'm like not ready yet. So I just really enjoyed cheering for my friends and cheering for everybody who was racing. But it was definitely motivating, I'd say, to like see everybody on the course and feel like, okay, like when I'm ready, I'll be excited to be there too.
And how was the process for you to decide that you want to come back? Did you have that clear before having Kimball, or it was more of a process that came slowly as you were seeing things as they were?
So I actually thought, like, originally when we decided we really wanted to start a family after Tokyo, like, and that was before it got postponed, I was thinking, like, that's the end for me. Like, I just want to have a family, and I wasn't sure I'd be able to balance training and racing and also like how I want to be as a mom. And then I realized like I love my job, and I didn't want to give that up before knowing if it was possible. And even now it's still like unknown if things go like to shambles, like I'll pivot and I'll do something different. But I've seen like it's nice to be able to see so many moms return to sport, and not just return to sport, but return to sport at the highest level and really competitively, and sometimes even better than before. And I think with a really big support crew and just trying to figure out exactly what that balance is going to be the biggest part that I'm trying to figure out for the next few months, is figuring out my balance as a mom, as an athlete, traveling, as a wife, like all those different things. So it wasn't super clear, but then I love my job. I love the triathlon community. I like that Tommy's still being a photographer for World Triathlon, so it makes sense to be able to go to the races together. And yeah, just kind of want to see. I never felt like done with the sport. It was more just thinking I wasn't sure I was going to be able to balance it, but I still have a lot of energy for triathlon left.
And you mentioned that, I mean, we saw Chelsea winning Ironman World Championships a few weeks ago. We've seen Nicola Spirig, we've seen great athletes giving birth and then still, as you were saying, like being super competitive. Is that something that you have, or have you chat with? Do you have a WhatsApp group with other triathletes?
I think like, it's definitely helpful talking to other moms, and I probably haven't taken as advantage of it as I should or will as I get more into things. But even like there's a girl who lives around me who went to Tokyo for open water swimming, and she had a baby 5 weeks before I did, and we're very much in similar places right now. And having her just to like bounce off, like, is this normal? Like just like the normal like mom concerns, but also like coming back to sport competitively and kind of like the different pulls you feel from like today I had a swim and Tommy was holding Kimball, but I could see Kimball getting upset. I was like, all right, I'm done my swim. Like I'm like getting out to like help him and like try to settle him down. And so yeah, it's a little different because like, I mean, for the last 7-8 years that I've been doing triathlon, it was all about me, and now I don't really feel that way anymore.
And so let's talk a little bit about plans. So, what are the plans for next season, and what is the goal? Is it Paris the goal? Are you thinking long term on trying to qualify for the Olympics and try to get another medal?
I'm definitely thinking towards Paris, step by step though. Like I really right now my first goal is to try to get back to the training that I'd been doing before having Kimball, right around like December, January, kind of like the same flow or like rhythm that we've had for the last few years. Like it's kind of nice. I had him in July and I've just like took time to rest, and then now I'm building back, and I'm hoping that the build phase kind of just goes into the natural rhythm of like what we would normally do with having an off season then coming back. So like I always said December, and now I'm like, well, it's already November. We're getting pretty close to that, but I do feel like physically capable. It's more just figuring out the time management aspect of it. And so then once I do that, figure out the race schedule for next season, I'll probably want to start with a lower level race to begin, unless training's going in like amazing or like mind-blowing. But I think I'll start with that just to like dip my feet in the water, and then yeah, hopefully get to the World Triathlon Championship Series circuit, and then we'll have two opportunities to qualify for Paris at the end of next year, which will be like a little over a year since having Kimball. So could be good timing. I'm trying to stay a bit present. I think the main goal is like to see like what the best version of myself is as a triathlete now, like coming back and just taking it almost day by day, and yeah, see how we go. And yeah, like I said, I just want to see what I can do, but if things aren't going like not that they're not going well, but if I feel like it's not for me, I feel okay with like bowing out. But at this point, I just feel hungry and excited to try and get to Paris.